Hi, this is Jay Vander, Netherlands' most successful indie maker without a social media following. Let's check out 3 more indie products launched on launch day number 3 already. So today I'm going to check out 2 Phishy by Lydia, the anti-phishing plugin, topYappers by Tadas, which is a creator marketing platform, and Brand.dev by Yahya, which is something that piqued my interest really much, but I'm gonna end on that one, I think. So let's start out with 2 Phishy by Lydia. So the description on launch day says, the only anti-phishing plugin you will ever need for Gmail. Good tagline. Already like the tagline, so that's good because it's very specific, and I think for indie makers, very good. There's very clear audience, people with Gmail that are afraid of getting phished with a PH. So I love it. It's very clear. So let's check out the site. It's a one-time payment product. I think here it's on sale for $59. So I think, I don't know, if it runs on AI, that means that Lydia will have to bear the costs of the long-term users. So I'm not sure how difficult it is to run this, but any product with a one-time payment that runs on a continuous cost model is kind of scary, especially for indie makers. So you either have to have such an insane margin that doesn't matter, even if somebody would use it for 100 years, you are still running a profit. But otherwise, it's a bit scary, I think, to offer lifetime access for this kind of stuff, because you cannot guarantee that basically maybe it's more like lifetime access for the lifetime of this product, right? Because the service might shut down in 5 years, 10 years. But this is very good. This is my next immediate question that she answers here on the site. Anti-phishing detection add-on. Your emails will never leave your Gmail account, because that's the second fear, I think. If you are afraid of privacy breach and phishing, etc., you are very afraid of giving more businesses access to your Gmail, of course. Proved by the Google OAuth verification team, we don't share any of your data ever. Well, they can't, because it will never leave our Gmail account, right? So this maybe would scare me a bit, this second thing. These are just some phishing examples, so I was hoping for some explanation how it would promise to do this anti-phishing stuff without checking our email. So maybe it's of course a browser add-on, I assume, or is there a specific plugin? I don't even know that, so maybe that's my bad. If there's a Gmail plugin ecosystem that can run local code, that would be cool. But then how would you do the anti-phishing? Another downside from this product is how would you guarantee this? So you can never 100% guarantee no phishing will come true.
Hi, my name is Lydia, and I'm a small business owner who created this plugin called 2Phishy.
So one thing from watching this video already is that I think, well, maybe if she aims it more at older, not so internet native people, like, I don't know, doctors, small business owners in the real world, not digital, there might be a market there. Maybe that should be the target market, right? People that are not so native. Of course, then first you have to convince them of the issues of phishing. But this would be a very good direction,
Everyone
I think.
has gotten phished, as we see in the news all the time. Jeff Bezos, I got recently. And the way the plugin.
All right, from this still, excuse my ignorance here, because I don't use the Gmail web app. But if this is a kind of native plugin system, then it would give me a lot more trust. But now I'm thinking, well, if the target audience is maybe less tech savvy users, then it doesn't matter too much. All this stuff that I worry about first, like how would they access my data? Maybe just the message should be in general anti-phishing protection for people who are not so tech savvy. So that could be their biggest opportunity, and then the sales or marketing strategy would be mostly almost like insurance selling or scare tactics. So tell scare stories. Basically, which I'm not a huge fan of, but I think it would work very well, and then just make basically people think that they will need this tool, otherwise they might get phished. And then another downside is, I think, why doesn't Gmail do this natively, or is the whole end goal to be bought up by Gmail? But then it should be like the leading edge anti-phishing database plugin, which it doesn't feel like something an indie maker could provide. Let's go to the rating. So right now I put it on a 1K MRR. I think the change is to go to a 10K MRR, which it definitely could be. Maybe it could be a 100K MRR because the target audience is very big, but I think too big for an indie maker basically. So I think the way to go from 1K to 10K would be to more specifically think about who's your target audience. The target audience should be older, non-tech savvy people that have a small business or have something to lose. And just want to feel more safe. And then I think I can go to a subscription very well. Maybe it would feel way more sensible, even though you don't have the first no-brainer pricing. But I think a $20 price per month for a small business owner is a no-brainer as well if they feel that they get phished one time less in their lives basically. Currently 1K, I think if you optimize the site for non-tech savvy people, maybe you could go to a 10K MRR product. All right, next up, topYappers by Tadas, influencer database. That's a good tagline, right? You only need 2 words. So maybe that should have been the name. I'm not a big fan of this name because the yapping thing is a word I assume that will be gone in a couple of years and nobody would know what it means. And I don't like this capitalization either, to be honest. So maybe influencer database, something like that, something very, very plain, very boring, would have a way more long-term quality. Whereas this is something that immediately to me feels like it's aimed at a very niche, maybe too niche, because at one point I was saying you need a niche audience, but now I think, well, this is only in a very small circles. People know what yapping is, and you probably want to sell to people outside the space. So let's check out the site. Sell more products with creator marketing, topYappers. So topYappers connects you with creators who already promote products like yours. First fully AI-powered platform in creator marketing. So this actually is an idea I was trying to work out myself, whether it was worthwhile pursuing as a product, because most of my sales have come from influencer marketing. So I've in the meanwhile learned that it's mostly micro influencer marketing or niche influencer marketing, because my product is aimed at video editors. Shout out alexaudiobutler.com. If you make videos, check that out. And my biggest success came from sponsoring Premiere Gal and some other YouTube channels. Maybe she has 10 to 20K views on their videos on average, and that's still very, very insanely valuable because they're all exactly my niche. Because she makes video editing content. It's just a perfect fit. So this whole basic idea is very underappreciated, I think, in our indie world as a marketing thing. So now that means I have a lot of thoughts on what could work and what not. Small thing for me, this doesn't add a thing AI powered. I don't care. I just I like the fact that it was just a plain database, a lot more than AI powered, because I feel like I'm smarter than AI for these kind of things basically. And I'm not sure if that's the same for everyone, but I feel like it. I know better which influencers fit my product and which not. I know ChatGPT is not very creative and has very normie thoughts whenever I ask him anything interesting, anything cutting edge, anything with a more hustle quality. It will always give me the basic normie answers. So this kind of stuff, AI powered matching, perfect creators, I just want to list and scroll through it myself and see some simple data points. So let's just check it out. This is kind of cool, right? This is really enticing. Of course, I know what my product is, so I don't need AI to first analyze my website. Category not found. I don't care that it doesn't work. Of course I care because now I cannot show, but I'm not here to roast the implementation. Let's assume this worked. So my thing is I know better what audience I'm looking for than AI can figure out from my website. Maybe that means I should improve my website so that AI can figure it out. But I know exactly the types of people I target, because that's the first thing I try to figure out before even working on the product, and you should too. So I am very interested in seeing the list of APIs. So let me give it one more try. Sorry for wasting your tokens, Tadas. So yeah, now you just come to the landing page. So this is not worked out yet. I do like it. I think that you give free access if this would work, and it would give me some ideas. It's hard to kind of this thing because that's not a thing for this. I think this is more like a one shot. So let's look at pricing, because if it's a subscription, I think, yeah, it is a subscription, but I'm not gonna look for new creators every month. I'm just gonna create one list one time, because it's so hard, and that was the other thing. The outreach is way more difficult than the finding of the creators. So I would pay more for a one-time list of 1,000 relevant YouTubers with their links and their some statistics like average view count of the latest 10 videos and the titles, so I can quickly scan through and decide who to contact, maybe whether they have sponsored products before or not. This is the stuff I would pay. Maybe I would pay for. I would pay $100 one time for just the list, and then I don't need subscription. So maybe this is more for marketing agents who do it for their clients. Would I pay $250 for this list? If I trust it, I would. I think I would, because it's easily days of work to find good leads. So for 50K creators or even 10K creators with all the details, I would pay it. So I'm not sure what exactly you would get, but I think a one-shot search would fit better. So maybe I'll check the video, because one thing I'm missing is what's exactly the data I will get out. I know exactly what data I am looking for, but can I pause this? No, I can't. So let me check out the video he made here. Maybe he shows it here.
It's launch day. Hey everyone, my name is Tadas. I'm the founder of topYappers.com, the most advanced influencer research and finding platform in the world. And so basically here you can see all the
So this is just my pet peeve. We don't care about followers, right? We only care about how much views they get, because followers is basically the age of the account. Because no one ever unfollows anybody on most social media. Don't check follower count. If you only take one thing from this video, never check follower count. Only check how much their last 10 videos did in views. For me, it's almost too beautiful. I just want a plain boring database or list and go through that. Check out the MRR rating for topYappers. Yeah, I think it's still very clearly at the 1K MRR range. I think the thing has potential, but you solve only one part of the real problem, and the finding the creators is not the biggest problem from my experience. And maybe you can just sell it to some people who do not know that yet, but the biggest problem is getting in touch with the creators, making deals with the creators. So that's the bigger market. I don't see a clear path from 1K to 10K. I would change to a one-shot pricing or an API almost. Or even though you're targeting marketing people, so maybe that's why it's good that it's beautiful. Yeah, to go to 10K MRR, 100K MRR in this space, I think you have to also have actual contact and profiles. Know for every creator whether they are open to deals, how you can reach them, etc. Product number 3, Brand.dev by Yahya. Still don't know. I think if it was in the Netherlands, I would say Yahya, because I assume it's an Arabic name, but I think he's more American, so maybe it's more like Yahya. So excuse my pronunciation. I'll go with Yahya because it's fun to say that sound for me. API to personalize your product with just a small thing, but maybe this is just the auto capitalization from Dago, but API. It looks way more beautiful with the capitals, right? API to personalize your product with logos, colors, and company info from any domain. So I'm a bit cheating here. This one's not a blind review, because in his launch day tweet, Dago mentioned this one product that had very, very slow customer acquisition, but a very low churn. And this piqued my interest in, because this could be the dream, right? With what product has almost zero churn? Talked on the Yap with Dago, and he already explained a bit, and also explained that it was quite hard for him to grasp this product as well as it can be. Maybe that's a good sign if he already has paying customers, because probably then he knows some niche way better than we do. My product is hard to explain to many people as well, but I know the target audience, and I know that it's important for them. So maybe it's just not a general audience product, and maybe that means that going on launch day for getting sales is not the best idea. because his target audience might not be here, but still I think it's always good. You also get all the benefits of getting the interview with Dago, which probably you will learn a lot about product making and shipping and make a lot of friends and get this beautiful roast for free on youtube.com/Jay Vander YT. Like and subscribe. Let's look at the site. So maybe, whatever. I don't care for this. Maybe it's a good time to give my rant from chat support. So from my perspective as a business owner, as a site owner, as a product seller, people are very mean in chat boxes. So as a browser, I don't like this pop-up. I just want to see the website, and now you're blocking your own website with this chat box, which is probably not even going to reply if I type something. So it's even not really a chat box. So this is not personal at Yatya, by the way. This is just my general rant against these things. And then from my experience as doing customer support, send everybody to email. Only let people email you, because people are way more well behaved, and you filter out the people who don't want to spend a single second of effort, and you don't want to talk with these. This will only cost a lot of energy and ruin a lot. I did Facebook messages, and people just send the worst things there because it's just a text box, so people type without filtering. They don't care, and now I have the auto reply there. Just send an email to support@alexaudio.butler.com, and it helps a lot. It's way more friendly. So I'm not sure if this is worth it. Of course, depends on your target market. Maybe if you're really B2C. And is the high touch enterprise sales something that would want this? I don't think so. They just like to hop on a call, right? Schedule a call. So I'm not sure if this is needed. Internet's brand API. API to personalize your product. So me, the user, with logos, colors, and company info from any domain. So let me spoil what this does if you didn't get it. I think this is quite clear, and it also, of course, people would not stumble on this randomly, right? So they probably would already know the idea. But this means that you have an API you can call if you have a website that shows other products, other sites, like a directory or whatever, or backend like a finance tracking thing. Then for every company, you can make your page basically look beautiful by calling Brand.dev and getting the logo, getting the brand colors, getting all the info. So this is kind of cool. I don't know if this exists. So I don't know the space basically, but I think this is an insanely good idea. There's many of this stuff, right? That you just can generate a randomly sized photo, for example. But if this doesn't exist, it's really good. It's hard to sell, maybe. So let's look at the pricing, because I think you either have to sell to really big companies, and then again, I can understand the low churn, right, and the high difficulty in selling. So I think you have to target larger companies or with bigger aspirations, and then really get the sales process going on. Or you have to be kind of almost free, or maybe you have to have a free thing or a branded thing that basically every indie hacker is going to use it on their landing page, like used by people in Netflix and whatever. So if you only had that widget, of course, maybe that would be something that everybody would use as a small promotion. Honest pricing from a team that doesn't answer to VCs. I love it. I think it's cool. But maybe your target market is startups, is VC founded startups. So maybe you have to be a bit more polite, because I think that should be the main target market. So now I'm thinking, well, how would you use this in practice, right? Because if you just do lazy API calls for every time a page is loaded, then this is insanely expensive, because even to fill out one dashboard, you will need to load a lot of company data. Maybe it can be done with one API, but maybe even you're too lazy for that. So that means that you are probably going to cache these things, and then then it becomes a very different product. But because if you're caching them anyway, why do you need a subscription? Maybe you can just cache the thousands most important ones and then just get rid of subscription. Maybe things change, but how often do these things change, right? So then maybe if it's just about getting these data one time and then caching them, maybe you should pay not per month, but in general for the usage. And then if you want to rely on this API, you should have insanely, I don't know what it costs him. I assume he does caching, right? So I would want 100K API calls or more per month for this amount, I think, if I would just lazily load it as a library on my dashboard. I'm also very interested, by the way, if the creators are looking whether I'm saying nonsense or what their experiences are on this part. It would also be very interesting to interview with them on this so they can actually respond, right? Because in this case, maybe he knows that this work and I'm just trying to come up with questions and answers, and I'm just misunderstanding the value here, and then they are laughing their way to the bank already because they do understand this market. What is this limitation? Because 2 calls per second. Yeah, we're really wondering about the practicalities here. So I think you would sell this to a technical person, so they will have these questions. I could ask it to Aaron, but I still don't think he replies. Let's go to the MRR rating for this. This is a tough one, right? Because it's kind of how much time will he spend on it? How much sales efforts will he do? Because this could easily be somewhere here. You could also easily be bought out, I think. If you have this database of all this stuff, which is a live database, you cache, you refresh all this data, then you could also easily be bought out. There must be some party willing to pay somewhere between these two amounts easily for just the data if it's clean and correct. Maybe Google already has this, maybe etc. etc. But smaller companies do not have this and maybe want it for whatever reason. So I think there's a good exit potential as well. I think this could be an easy 10K, even 100K MRR product over time. I think you have to work out the pricing structure to fit the actual need of the users. It either has to become a very high touch, high pricing product where you sell directly to other startups, basically, and then scale the usage-based pricing, so scale up with them almost. Or you have to go really to the bottom of the of the barrel, targeting indie makers for maybe just smaller stuff, but it has to be very cheap. So maybe for the landing page, social proof company thing, then I think it would be somewhere here. And if you go the direct route of selling to bigger companies, it could be, it could grow to 100K MRR. If you like this kind of stuff, like, subscribe, follow me on X, Twitter. I'm trying to grind my way up there to an audience. I think I have a lot of interesting stuff to tell. I just need to take the time to type it all out. In any case, thanks for watching.